Hi, happy Pride. It's Los Angeles Poet Society here live at Beyond the Road. It's June 24th, 2023. It's our second annual Queer Writers Festival, and we're about to get it started. And sending our love to you. Happy Pride, and I hope you enjoy the show. And go ahead and make yourself comfortable because this is a good festival that goes until 10 p.m. and we're going to be dancing, and we're going to have a panel. We're going to have featured writers, guests, mini workshops, a play, lots of fun. So hang on tight and stay tuned. Okay, who's working? Doc, my baby. I think is there still a plug over here? Oh, cool. Let's see how. Wait, what is that? Oh, there it is. That's the podium. All right. I'm trying to imagine where. There we go. All right, bear with us, folks. We're getting things started here. Wait, is this going on YouTube or what? Okay. Yeah. All right, if you hear my voice, start making your way to the theater. We're going to officially kick off the second annual Queer Writers Festival here at Beyond the Road. Poet Society. welcome everybody. Come on in, everyone, have a seat. If you're outside, hope you're feeling good. Let me hear you say, yeah. Yeah. Here we go. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for our second annual celebration of Pride. We're celebrating queer writers. It's the Queer Writers Festival. Okay. I'm Jessica with Los Angeles Poet Society, and my baby was founded about 14 years ago. And I'm so happy that we're here in action along with my partner in crime, Kelsey Bryan Zwick, who's going to be co-hosting the show. And Genesis Perez, Lori, youth laureate of Ventura County. That's Lori today. And we're just really happy and honored to have you here today. Thank you, Yvonne and Jimmy and Clinton and all the team down the road for having us here. So before we continue, I just want to remind you to put your phones on. Do not interrupt me. I'm just so put it on quiet. And also importantly, I want to take this moment to honor and acknowledge our indigenous relatives of the land we occupy. This is Tongva land, Chumash land, so in honor of the Tavium, the Chumash, the Tongva, also nearby the Gabrieleños and the Fernandeños, and all of our indigenous brothers and sisters, relatives. I want to say thank you. Thank you for being good caretakers of Mother Earth so that I get to live and thrive with all y'all. And I want to just extend that energy and good wishes to you all to continue that legacy of caretakers of our Mother Earth, Madre Tierra, Pachamama, who we stand on and need. Let us be good to her so generations to come can also be. And Mateo, I want to acknowledge each of you and again welcome you to the festival. And and just all that beautiful energy that you carry as you walk in anywhere you go. And happy Pride. Also happy mental health awareness as well. Acknowledge that. And we're here in a community of respect, mutual respect, and dignity. And this is a free space. It's a safe space. And so welcome you all to be feel comfortable to participate and join us. We'll dim the lights down, but also know that no hate will be tolerated as well. So we'll take care if, I don't expect anything like that, but we do not tolerate it. So welcome again. I'm Jessica, and I'm gonna introduce Kelsey Bryan Zwick, my co-host, and Genesis, my tri-host. Yeah. We just welcome everybody.
Let's see. We're going to talk about a little bit of our coming out stories. I went to UC Santa Cruz. It was kind of like lesbian parties are the best parties, and that's the gender binary and all these things started being part of my life. And yeah, I've always known I was queer, but it was like really the gender queer part that like helped me be able to express that for myself. So yeah, she, they. So I'm gonna read a poem about first girlfriend. From a chapbook I found back in the day, 2014. Exhibition A. The apple falls into her lap. She is pretty beautiful, palms of seagulls. We are sitting beneath the tree. She passes me the bottle of red wine. We got downtown $6 and 2 cigarettes from a nice homeless man. I take a sip. She scratches at the apple with a finger, looking for bruises. You can see the bay from here. in the hills, Santa Cruz, red, tall forest. She is standing on the picnic table, pacing, apple balanced on her head. I light a Nat Sherman, she sits and we French inhale. I pass her the bottle, she necks the wine, starts eating the apple. Last night we folded 100 paper airplanes, flew them from the balcony, drank the warm beer sitting under the bed, drew Sharpie pictures all over our clothes, all over our bodies, sake, kave, snake skin, skinny dipping. You are eating the apple upside down. You say the bottom half is sweeter. You trade me the bottle for the rest of my smoke. That winter, we take a Greyhound to Reno, catch a lift to Half Moon Bay. We split an avocado sprinkled with garlic salt, eating the halves like ice cream with spoons. We go to San Francisco, 7 of us in a double bed at the Monarch Hotel across the street from Charlie's adult video. At the art school in the basement, on the hand cranked projector, we watch a film made out of highlighter ink and body hair. You are finishing the bottle of red wine. It is a Merlot 2006. I have lit another cigarette. In the fall, we went to a party, got rowdy, broke a plastic lawn chair, climbed onto the roof, played spin the bottle. We found bread and water, a clean teal blue t-shirt to change into, walked the 3 miles home. You were twirling that last bit of apple like taffy on your fingers. It hangs from the stem. You have eaten seeds, rind, and core. And as you finish eating the apple, a golden tree grows out of your chest. Your legs take root in the ground. I think you are the exhibitionist. I sleep there that night, a warm red glow. I wake at dawn, walk off into that summer, start sucking on the silver leaf spoons. I find everywhere I go, I take an apple. Thank you. Next up, I will have Jennifer. And today, this festival, we are dedicating to Angela Davis. Angela Davis is an activist, writer, and philosopher. And Professor East Stanford, that ties in very nicely in a cool moment. But yeah, the work is never done. Here's one that did it. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Genesis Perez, and I'm the Programs and Publishing Intern at Beyond Baroque. Welcome to Beyond Baroque. We're a nonprofit literary arts organization founded in 1968 by George Jerry Smith, a project that began as an experimental literary magazine and has evolved into the interdisciplinary art space we know today. Since the late 70s, the organization has taken residence here in the original Venice City Hall, and we are a place dedicated to the possibilities of language, providing platform for readings, writing workshops, and gallery exhibitions year-round. I'd like to acknowledge our presence on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Tonga people. We acknowledge the wrong done to Indigenous peoples through colonialism and genocidal practices. As an arts organization, we are committed to uplifting their communities, stories, and cultures. Happy Pride. Tonight, we have an amazing lineup of writers and artists sharing their work. We support their work. We have books available in the lobby. We have people who will be reading and sharing with us. So please provide support in whatever way you are willing to, and please buy their work, which is both at various booths and also in the bookstore. Now, a little bit more about me personally, and not just the space. I originally wrote this piece for Santa Paula Youth Pride, which was earlier this month. And I really wanted to share it again because I love getting as much mileage as possible on new work. Yeah. You guys. And this is called Watching Rocky Horror Picture Show for the first time.
I was 18 and in love with a girl. A girl who was a girl the way I was, with short cropped hair and heavy boots covered in mud, not really a girl, but not ready to say that part yet. Barely able to say what we felt for each other. I was 18 and tied up in my angst, these knots in my stomach from all this green ribbon. I was one heartstring pulled away, from falling apart, choking on the love poems that spewed from my lungs. Every inhale was I love you. And every exhale was I miss you. I was 18, holding a girl, that girl I loved, on the beach, watching the sun go down, thinking it would be dark forever. I returned home feeling like I'd been left at the bottom of the ocean. And my mom suggested we watch romantic. I was far too self-serious. How could I laugh at perfect people falling in love when my own imperfect romance was doomed from the moment we locked eyes? The love I knew was not laughter, it was dog bite, piercing every inch of exposed flesh. My mother did not bend to my mansions. She braved the on-demand channels until she found Rocky Horror Picture Show. You'll love it, she said. It's so camp. It's so gay. And dear audience, it was. And it was glitter and madness and sex, but silly, and lust, but loosely. And we cheered for Rocky and Janet and Brad. We danced the time warp across the living room. We laughed, a feeling my lungs desperately needed to be reacquainted with. At some point, we fell asleep, convinced we had dreamt up the entire third act, until we woke up, rewound, and realized, no, that is in fact how we ends. Rewatching. And years, not many years, but enough years later, I realized there are many things that my mother does not understand about me. There are many things that my mother will never understand about me. My mother, who knew my queerness would be a target. My mother, who knew I would feel the weight of my queerness forever. My mother, who has never once let my queerness stop her from loving me as much as she possibly can. My mother has always wanted queer joy, especially if glitter is involved.
You know, I'm gonna play for Rocky Horror. You know, that's just random. I was like snapping at the end of Rocky Horror for me is when they're like, don't dream it. So I'm like, oh yes, that's what I'm like, this is a celebration. Yes. You really only live now, like be authentic yourself. I know it's hard. I know it can be very hard. And it is a battle and sometimes a struggle every day. But there's also so much joy, and there's so many, you know, it's just so rewarding just to be true to yourself. That's ultimately it. Being true, honoring who you are. That's what it all comes down to. I want to share my story. All right. So when I was younger, I used to fantasize about having, oh gosh, close your ears, please, back there. Or go to the bathroom. 3 layers of different. I want to read my picture. And I'm like, oh. There is a certain word I didn't want to see. What do you think? I don't know. I love you. But that's Luna and Soul. The Luna and Soul, the art song of their here. Okay, there you go. You know, hey man, but whatever. So when I was younger, I used used to fantasize about having lovers ornamenting my entire body like the petals of a flower. I didn't know what it all meant, but I knew I wanted to be attention, to be desired, to feel pleasure, to be the earth center to all the bodies tearing for me. Yeah. One night I had a dream though, gathering mist over mine. I looked up and recognized her dark face. It was Helena, my friend at school. It was a kiss fantasy that I couldn't let go. Why did I dream of her and what had it meant? I was able to speak to my dad about anything. So I told him about the kids, so curious about this new desire, but uncertain of its origin. So I asked and told him my facts. But she's just a friend. I didn't even like her. I didn't think of her. And my dad told me right away, it's okay that you done that. Oh, okay. But I didn't know why. Why her? I didn't like her in that way, but it's okay if you do. That's okay. And in that moment, I knew it was okay. I was safe. And anything I wanted to be or feel was okay. So I got to be myself, truly, all this time. It wasn't a sense that I hadn't made, it was a sense that I hadn't made yet at that age, you know. But my dad's support let me know that being myself, being my true self was all I needed to be. And it's always been hard not to stare, to dare myself to be louder and share the unfoldings of my mind, the curves everywhere, how her nose crinkles and bounces subtly every time she speaks. I want to kiss it each time it raises back up, then down, then up again. My insecure fantasy to be the dom or the master, the initiator, and all that led to a new revelation of how that men just got in the way, and I always felt stronger with her when we were alone, and our love for each other without audience, not novelty, but the truest love that flowed between her and I. Just authentic, living free. We wanted to share a little more of ourselves to share with you where we're coming from, and so that you know you're all and we love you. And LA Quilt Society is a home for all of us creatives. And now it is my great pleasure to bring up our next featured author. So we can move the slideshow to Ante Miguel Lopez. Who's at the laptop? Where's that?
Here.
Yay! All right, we got the bus office. Thank you, sir. And to our tech, sing around for our Thank you so much. Lots of love. We love y'all. We love y'all. So I'm just, and for my partner here, we're gonna just share like 2 lines from their bio. We can make this available to y'all. It's online. It's for the pursuit of time. But Angel is a graduate of the University of California, San Diego, with dual BAs in theater and history. He was awarded the Jorge Huerta Spirit Award, and now he is a graduate student pursuing an MFA at Cal Arts over here in Santa Clarita. He's an actor, director, playwright, amazing human whom I love, and one of my new besties. And I'm very happy to introduce Angel Miguel Lopez and Tristan, and they're going to share that Steve line.
Thank y'all so much. We're just gonna need 1 minute just to set up real quick. And we'll get started. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna. Wait, oh, the lights. All right, imagine you don't. There we go. Yeah, we'll do. Oh, Wayne's World. You guys remember Wayne's World?
Delaware. Hi.
Oh,
Any quick question? Can everybody see me?
The scene begins on a chilly morning during the peak of fall and bump. You see maple trees dotting the entire background, full of bright, richly colored red, yellow, and orange leaves. Tomas is sitting on an old wooden bench center stage. The stage left is the beginning of a bridge that crosses over the Charles River with an old-fashioned street map set stage. The sun is barely beginning to rise as you see a young, lanky individual, Isaiah, walk from off stage left, coming down the dressed in a thick sweater, jeans, and some Chelsea boots. He pauses at the bottom of the bridge, looking at the individual sitting on the bench. You hear him say,
Oh shit! Yo, get over here! Oh, it's so good to see you, man. So good to see you too. Oh, it's good to see that blood on your ear too. Yo, it's gonna be like old times when you got too high after your first hit.
You know, I distinctly remember the first time we took an edible. You swear your cat was lying in front of you.
Damn, give me that elephant memory. Man, oh, I keep saying it, but it's good to see you, man. No idea.
Haven't changed one bit.
So how are you, bro? I know you just got in here from LA. Like, you gotta tell me how you settled into Boston. How's the new place? Congrats on the new job at the Globe, by the way.
Why are you smiling at me like that? Nothing. Just
Tell me, dog. You know I get everything out of you eventually.
it's just I feel like I just saw you yesterday. I forget it's been years since we've seen each other, you know? It's fine. But come on, catch me up on what you've been doing.
Honestly, everything's been a blur since I got out here. 3 years I'm working out of this little record store, barely making it by, but bam, I was at the guitar, open mic, some producer heard me, wanted to cut a demo. Now just 1 year of me making music, I'm opening for Blink at the Winterfest. Oh, wait.
Dude, congrats! Dude, I remember all the damn car rides to school when we used to listen to every single album. And now you get to play on the same stage as them.
Yeah, I know. I still honestly haven't wrapped my head around it. Yo, you are definitely gonna be good backstage with me, okay? I mean, you're the one that got me into them in the first place.
Wait, really? Yo. Now that's like something we can celebrate with lunch.
Oh, let's spark it up, come on. Come on, I got you. Come on, I got you.
Thanks. They always have trouble with fighting it.
Well, we did.
What do you do, fine?
Yeah, with your little baby hits.
Baby did.
Man, stop hugging this shit, that's over. Come on. Back in high school, you remember?
Why remember? How could I forget all the shit you had me doing?
Man, you used to be so scared of everything, dude. If I didn't used to make you ditch class, you would have never did anything fun.
Well, if I didn't stop you from ditching all the time, you would have actually gone to music and got good. I mean, look at you. You get to play shows for a living. What better job could you have?
Or with the multi-million-dollar record deal for Berkeley.
Yeah.
But come over here and look at the sunrise. Swear, that's the reason why I moved to Boston. I had just landed here when I had come out here from LA a couple years ago. I looked up in those big airport windows and saw that sunrise. As, I mean, the winters could be a bitch, but hey, you can't get everything.
Funny. It's like an eighth of the strain called Morning Dreams. They say it tastes like sunrise. I don't know how, but I understand what they meant. It's like all my senses are connected.
You're already hired. But what you think about Boston, right? Or our sunrises or everything, I guess.
I mean, I was scared I wasn't going to like it, but so beautiful here. Plus, have you? Oh, stop it. Sorry. I mean, I have you here, friend. I don't really know anyone else here out like that.
Nah, don't forget. What about Shaylin? Huh? She lives out there by Salem. Oh, no. You remember senior year? That time you ate shit and in front of her? In front of Miss, what's her name? I forget. Remember that time you tripped in front of her?
You dick. I only tripped because you made me slip. Besides, I wasn't into her like that anyway.
You were totally into her. I would catch you looking right past me at her for 4 years straight. You think I would have noticed?
Nah, dude. You always pick off on the wrong person. Besides, it was long ago. It doesn't matter who I like back then, does it?
Yes. Well, don't worry. Boston has tons of pretty girls you can come out here. We'll find someone for you soon.
Maybe. We'll see. What about you? See anyone?
Nah, right now. But I really haven't met anybody I like that, you know? Hey.
No.
I'll pull up for you real soon.
Hopefully, amen. But here, look, take a hit of this, man. All right. One out here. I'll show you again. Come on. Like, this shit really does it.
You never could take a big hit without coughing.
Yeah, Mr. Lightweight, whatever you say, all right? Yo, look, remember back home, every single year, we think about all the times we go to the snow and we never got a chance to. And guess what? Now we get to live where it snows all.
Yeah, I remember. I was sad we never got to go, but it works out way better. You know, it really is kind of beautiful here in the fall. I can't think of any other way to describe it. Maybe, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing like back home. You can even tell the difference between June and December. I mean, you can actually see the seasons changing. It makes you feel more connected.
Definitely makes me feel something. How long did it get you adjusted to the cold?
I don't know. Still gotta get more accustomed to it. I mean, what about you? How you doing? Off on the way.
I mean, not horrible. But my hands feel permanently cold, to be honest. I'm just glad I wear thermal gloves and you. Damn, I forgot how much I used to cough when you used to cough.
Hell yeah, he did. Getting me all paranoid your parents would bust us in your room. Anyway, what were you saying before? About what you're glad you had?
Oh, I was saying that that I was glad for for the new job I got at the Globe.
Mm.
Yep, that was it. I hope I get to meet a bunch of different reporters and people.
Must be exciting, man. New people to meet. Don't be a little heartbreaker on me now, okay?
I mean, I'm not really looking to meet anyone new.
You are gonna hit up Shaylin, huh?
Nah, dude, I told you it wasn't her that I was into.
Then who was it? Oh, come on, you look, you never dated in high school, but you had to have had a crush on at least one of those girls.
Nope. Not a single one of those girls. You were the one with the girls all over you.
Yeah, well, it ain't all it's cut out to be, all right? Science. When I came out here, I kind of started finding out some more things about myself.
What do you mean?
All right, like I haven't told anybody from back home, all right? So you can be the first. But when I came out here, I decided to come out as the real me. So I finally came out as bi.
Really? My boy is bi? I'm so happy for you.
I did. Oh my God. I mean, I actually knew since back in high school, but I mean, I just wanted to wait till I started my own life to really, come out as the real me.
High school. Damn. Really great of you. Glad you decided to do that. It's tiring. Actually, one time. Cool. I feel like this move started a new chapter in my life. And I want to start being honest with myself and everyone else. Especially
Ooh. Come on, bro, it's me.
I actually don't like. I don't.
Hey, it's okay. Come on, you know you can tell me anything.
You're gonna be the first person I've ever told. I'm gay. Just really glad I told you. Feels like the clouds just went away and standing in the sun. I feel
First time you feel comfortable in your own skin. When did you, no.
back in high school, actually. I just started realizing I was developing feelings for someone, but I didn't think it would be.
There was someone. I knew it. Ah, come on, man. You have to tell me now. Okay, look. Look, right? I never thought I'd tell any, ever. If you tell me, I'll tell you the person that made me realize too.
Really?
Yeah. Come on, we'll play it together. Ready? 3, 2, 1. You. Go. My name is Ahmed Lopez, expert perception, and that was nice of you. There are scripts available outside for sale. Support your local writings and your local playwrights. Thank you.
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
All right, yes, phenomenal. The art comes out on the LA Post site. Well, that was amazing. Oh, I love it. Wow, oh my gosh.
Thank you, LA Public Society.
All right, thank you. The next part of our program, we were gonna do a little writing exercise, but I'm gonna go ahead and just keep the program moving. And because we have some of our feature writers here that are supposed to go on in the 6 o'clock hour. So I wanna honor that and just move it forward. And when we're, I think later on this evening, we can do a little write-up together. So we'll see how we do, but we'll just keep things flowing. We're not too far behind if I take out the writing. That's me anyway. You guys can send me. I don't either. We can talk later. Okay, so now we're moving on to our program. One more time for Anja Miguel Lopez. And now we're gonna go into our next hour called Riders on the Rainbow. And lots of love to my team who helped come up with the names of these amazing segments. Okay, so Riders on the Rainbow, that's going to be Steady, Undi Solis Flores, Cam Valencia, and Stephanie Say. And we'll try to, we'll go in the order of that. And so Steady, can you give a little shout if you're here? Oh, good. So Steady's coming up next. Let's go ahead and move the slide forward. Yeah, we got our backdrop, Riders on the Rainbow. Again, I want to give a shout to all of our wonderful sponsors. We are going to pass around the love box. If you want to share any love, what we welcome it. But yeah, anyway, we'll be passing around throughout the just at least gonna send good vibes. And feature writers, you're good too. If you want to give love, that's all good too. But letting you know your reading is sponsored. Everybody's getting love tonight. So. All right. So our next guests are Steady, and that is Stephanie Sajor and Eddie M. Gana Jr. They're spoken word artists and community organizers based in Los Angeles, and also co-directors of the Sunday Jump, the longest running Filipino founded open mic series in historic Filipino town. And they're a wonderful spoken word team, and they're in the poetry slam, and there's just lots of open community. I've always got so much love for them and from them, so I'm just happy that they're here with us today. So let's hear it for Steady.
All right, so we're very honored to be here today for the second annual Queer Writers Festival. My name is Eddie. My name is Ronald Verdeta.
And my name is Stephanie, my friendly version thing.
And together we are Steady. And so we have enough calls for you all to really feed off your energy. So if you hear a line that you like, relate with, I want to snap your fingers. And we can have it all to do if it satisfies your hunger pangs for creative self-expression, you give up. Everyone together in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Awesome. So we wanted to open up with this poem, which is a dedication to all the spaces that have influenced us as writers, as organizers, and just as people, feeling validated in our experience, being able to share our stories through both of our.
Right, so this poem has a lot of little shout outs to all the different spaces that have nourished us over.
This is dedicated to the community that inspired us to jump on a Sunday.
Like a rabbit who stumbled upon.
Too many uncultivated carrots.
There is honesty from the common ground to the summit with words.
Going up on a Tuesday night. There are chest rumbling hearthstones, this cafe, bookstore, lounge, den, and barber shop. You will know it's happening. It is impossible to be impassive.
After you breathe in this natural high, to take flight in school skeptics who don't believe in
Freedom of speech.
Look around you. We are poets on soapboxes without definitive endings. We
Don't be nice.
We
Go in.
We
Speak easy.
might ask.
How do you do that?
We reply.
We just speak it easy. Let stories shatter glassless walls and open minds at festivals, slams, and open mics. Because our mic as a collective is a great one.
Revel in the perks of a poet's paradise with palms up every week, bi-weekly, or once every month.
Snap fingers.
Satisfy hunger pains, be elevated
In the way you express.
and you'll find who you truly are.
In between the bars.
The breaks of the silence on the avenue,
When you write or spit under the lights of full moon.
wherever you are,
Remember, in every neighborhood, every city, every village.
in every line, every poem,
There will always be community.
That's just like a little dedication to like all the different like spaces that we've attended, been to, whatever, yeah.
It's like, you know, the Poetry Lounge, Tuesday Night Cafe, and so many spaces. But then it's so popular, spaces that are no longer existing. Because
Yes.
It's so important to recognize the history and those that came before us, and being able to continue the work that we all do now.
Yes.
It's
And so this next poem was actually originally written in honor of a specific space that sort of, in a way, raised us. It's called Tuesday Night Cafe. And this was in honor of their 20th anniversary, and this year is actually the 25th. So,
We've been going on for about 11 years.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
11 years now, so hopefully one day it gets reached 25. We'll see. But yeah, actually later on today, we got the piano. Will be here. So, and so much like So with this piece entitled 20 times this feels like home.
1,
When nothing ever feels like this.
I need this.
This moment is an Austrian mask in a world crashing down with borders, walls, and executive orders.
Remember to breathe and we can help each other.
2, when all else fails, we can black box. We are alive and we will make it out okay. We are alive and we will make it out okay.
3, when one way or another, we will throw it back and
TLC that life is less of a scrub nowadays because we're sticking to the rivers and lakes that we're used to. 4 or 5, when Los Angeles is a conversation of freeways.
6,
When our journeys cross like hugs with consent.
when a handshake turns into a tilt of the familiar, turns into discovering you grew up in the same town and went to the same high school. 7,
When asking
how are you?
is not an automated voicemail. We are not meant to be telemarketer messages left after the beep.
We are more.
We are endless chismes with best friends on unlimited data. Let's keep talking.
8,
When all provinces rise to revolution and prove that our resistance is more DNA than Ancestry.com. 9,
when time flies and we dance like family reunions without skeletons, or that cackling auntie who had one too many.
10,
When poetry is a language I am still learning,
when I can understand more than I can speak it.
and through it all, you know what I'm trying to say anyway. 11, when understanding that a relationship doesn't work if neither side wants to change, that at the end of the day,
Partnership is about love.
and everything else is rhetoric.
12,
When finding purpose means
asking questions
learning from mistakes.
and figuring out what makes you feel whole
13,
when luck has nothing to do with it. 14, 15, and 16, when our parents laughed at us. We thought we were so smart, but they were once this age too. 17, almost adults.
18, finally adults,
19,
when an
open space,
does not mean
empty space. 20, when another milestone is to be celebrated. When growing means challenging, means building, means fighting, means listening, means learning, means crying, means shouldering, means breaking, means solving, means falling, means accepting, means moving, means crashing, means trying, means writing. When the number of times this feels like home will always be one, we don't mind losing count. Day feels like home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Day.
It's like a loving one.
For this one.
Yes.
Yeah, so this here is a remixed version of the poem that we shared at our wedding when we got married in June 6, 2015.
Yes.
You'll get, better remember that. You know, we are very thankful to be surrounded by our chosen family, by community, by friends, and everyone that has crossed within our lives.
Yeah.
You know, from the open mic scene through family parties, and from the Philippines to the United States, and you know, everywhere.
Yes.
So this poem is in remembrance of that chosen family in the community. So, you know,
Right, yeah, so it's sort of like, I guess, like a snapshot into like both the journey and like the gratitude for all those people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also want to mention too, like, you know, how a poem is never really finished, it's only abandoned. So like when you come back to it, like at another point in time, there'd be like revisions or whatnot. And so even with this poem, it's undergone revisions, like even for me, like coming out and, you know, changing my pronouns and things like that. And it's like with a poem, like it's living and, you know, it's there and, you know, it's okay for it to change as well too. It's fluid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that little bit, the poem is not finished. Only abandoned, that is from
Stop it.
Balfi, one of our friends, writers, poets who lives in Minnesota.
Yes, one shout out. So this poem is entitled 6650.
You are a stranger.
Unsteady eyes, no contact at all until I ask, are you Filipino?
Until I wonder to myself, is that really a rat tail? Yes.
Only as-
We are housemates.
We live down the hall from each other. My obnoxiously loud music competes with your untamable laughter.
You're funny.
We are friends.
Studying, joyriding, drinking, never at the same time, but it sure feels like it.
We are friends. Studying, joyriding, drinking, feeling and feeling is different somehow. We are best friends. We meet in the middle of the same hall.
There is no distance between us.
Would you like me to be your partner?
We
are more. We are
7.5 years later, we are so behind with everything.
Yeah.
We do not have the centerpieces,
No.
do not have the flowers,
No.
do not have the music,
Mhm.
do not have the slideshow.
We do not have the rings. We do not have the shoes.
Mm-mm.
We do not have the cake. We do not have the programs.
We do not have the time.
We need to stop worrying. We have the only thing that matters. It cannot be calculated into a budget. It cannot be scheduled on a timeline. It cannot be prepared because it already is.
Mm.
We need to remember.
Your sore knee, my clasped hands, the feelings before and after, why we are getting married in the first place.
We are here, June 6, 2015, our 8th anniversary. We met in the middle of a hallway. We meet again at the end of a wedding aisle, in the presence of our family, friends, and community who supported us on our journey from like to hella like to love, from friend to boyfriend to best friend to fiance to my wife.
My partner. We dedicate this poem to our family, this community. You are our everyday presence in the moments, the in-between spaces that phase and transition.
We remember the late night conversations, the realizations that dawn on us, the bonds that have set on our minds.
With you here,
And 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 you
and
here,
you here,
and you here,
and you here.
and you all here. To you, who will continue to be there unconditionally, who taught us how to love in the first place.
To you who made us laugh into 5 in the morning, to forget life's troubles even for a little while.
To you, who challenged us.
Checked us to be better organizers and artists.
I am a child, sibling,
cousin,
cousin, uncle.
auntie.
I am a Kasama, ally, friend, homie. We are here. We are more. We are thankful. With all of you, we are going steady.
So like we're talking about how like, you know, poems don't like poems change over time, right? And this is like, if you like look at this, it's like all these like it was printed in a chapbook already. And then we're like, oh no, we need to change this now and this and that, so, yeah.
All right, and this will be the last poem. Yes, last poem. So for this poem, this is in considering the context of us being Latinx Americans and this timeline of history and us remembering that we have to remember where we came from to know where we are in order to move forward on to the next step. And so with this is pretty much like a journey.
Yes, like a reflection on like where we are in the context of like that Filipino American history. Yeah.
There's also been ongoing dialogue as well too, right? From being a Filipino, to Filipina, Filipinx, well, or right, Filipino, Latina, Latina, May, right? You know, language is always changing.
Yeah.
So it's dealt with into a little bit of that, and in our journey, how I am confident to say, I am Filipino, Filipina.
And Filipino, Filipina.
We are Filipinx.
Replace the F with a P. Filipino, Filipino.
Switch between O or A, Filipino, Filipina. Replace the O
Or A
with an X. We are Filipinx.
The X is for intersectionality.
X.
To be inclusive.
X.
Not limited to the gender binary.
X, much like how we spoke
X.
before colonizers in our throats. Sha, sha,
X.
they did it, they did it.
X. They came from Spain, 1521 to 1898.
They came from the United States, 1899 to X. They taught us how to speak, to pray before we eat, to believe in a religion, follow a God we've never heard of, make up a sign in our own written language, but by in, because too difficult for them to translate.
They created a quiver in the shape of a cross that whenever we write, whenever we read, we are learning lies.
X, where is our history? X1, Morbid, California, 1587. X2, Louisiana, 1763. X3, Philippine American, born 1899. X4, Watsonville Rights, 1930. X5, Jack 1946. X6,
The Lunenburg Strike of 1965.
X7,
People Power Movement in 1986.
X8,
Nabatang Makabayan in 1999.
X9,
Tagalog and Peace Studies in 2003.
X10,
Philippine Nexus for Black Lives since 2013.
X. We are Philippine X. When Agricola said we have nothing but Manny Pacquiao and sex tours.
When Manny Pacquiao said gay marriage was worse than animals.
When Pia Bursbach said it's a good relationship, we were colonized.
When Duterte said he'd be happy to slaughter them.
When Trump said we come from a shithole country.
When the New York Times said we do not exist.
X. 4X, everything X, that X, V, X, R, X, everything that we are X, this X represents a list that we have so much more to do. Isang bagsak, dalawang bagsak, tatlong bagsak. Oh! Fall down, we all fall down. If one of us rise, we all rise. And it's all about also the progress, like one, like I say, one set is down, the
Like,
next
yeah.
set, or like one marches down onto the next march.
Yeah, it's usually that like that clap is usually done like at the end of like a meeting, at the end of a show, at the end of an event, at the end of something. Yeah, to mark like we've got this down onto the next thing.
Yeah, so the isang bagsak for the past, dalawang bagsak for the present, and tatlong bagsak for the future. So, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, thank you. One thing I wanted to say too, I always appreciate Steady, ever since I got to meet them at the Sunday Jump and also back in the day with Poetry Palooza, like they always give you a lesson of history, like know your facts, educate yourself, question things. And I always feel so much more enriched and just knowledgeable. And it's so exciting for y'all to come together.
Oh, God, it feels different already. Can we line up the next poet? Keep the party going. We got Luis Solis. And I'm gonna read a few lines of their bio. Is a queer, non-binary immigrant poet and licensed clinical social worker. Thank you for that. They were born in Zacatecas, Mexico, and reside in Northeast San Fernando Valley. Thank you, and welcome, Uli.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Good.
Any queers? Okay, good. I was a little worried. Myself, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so thank you so much, Jessica and LA Poet Society for inviting me. I was trying to make it last year, but it didn't happen, so I'm happy to be here.
now with everyone in this room. Let's keep the snaps going, the hums going, steady, y'all were amazing. Very thankful for you and this day for y'all as well. So I'm gonna read some books from my book, Belonging, some books from my book, some poems from my book. Belonging. It's about to be 1 year since it came out on World Stage Pride, so. I'm very excited. So let's start with the poem. Let's go with this one. All right, we're gonna start with one called Lip Sync, okay? She sways her hips and whips her hair away from the face to the beat. I want the boys on the corner to see me with desire too. I want to be her. I imagine myself in her heels singing along to Juan Gabriel, glowing in the sun. I lip sync and hit every beat and I slow it down just for the bridge that no one is watching. I catch myself singing aloud, soft, feminine, and free. So it took me some time this morning because I woke up super late and I was like, what am I gonna read today? And it's always kind of difficult with queer poet. I don't know if queer poets in the room can relate, but with different like open mics and places, you kind of always kind of have to gauge how open you are about what you write. So these next couple ones are a little on the sad side, so you know, heads up on that. But I promise we'll get some like sexy ones and some ones a little later, okay? This one is called Crossing. The helicopter flashed its lights as we hid under a bush, and the mud hugged our feet as if the earth itself was embracing us and whispering, I won't let them see. I needed to pee, and I needed our Coyote to take me in his arms and place me on his shoulders. I needed him to hold me. I held it in, the urine, the tears. There was only 3 more hours to San Diego where the warm water would caress my skin. And my mom would invite a hotel shampoo from the rest of our journey to Los Angeles. Oh, so what is that? This is called Audit. Every year I audit my gender, I double, triple check. If maybe I missed a box from the non-binary checklist, and I role play as you. You, the one who wonders if I'm really trans or if I'll start hormones soon, and why is it that you never see me in makeup or in heels? I play devil's advocate against myself, and maybe my pronouns are an inconvenience, and perhaps if I pick a gender on the binary, it'll be easier. Every year I audit my gender, and I remember that there are people who only know me as they do. Every time I read this one, I'm like 10 years later, and I'm still second guessing it, but you know, guess that's what the prize for, right? This one called Mommy Says. Mommy says, sometimes I think coming to this country was worth it. Pride in the homeland adorns the bodies left for dead, tortured, and wrapped in rainbow flags like Javier Eduardo Hidalgo, age 34 from Mexico City. Occasionally, pride is a shot through the head 2 blocks from home at 18, like Jonathan Santos from Zapopan, Jalisco. Mommy sees me and as the news reports 209 LGBT murders during the past 6 years in Mexico, and mommy says, you're safer here. Next one is summer 2016. We gather at the hilltop edge of Pacoima and attempt to form a circle as the warmth of golden hour soothes our skin and shines on our fears and simmers our grief. We gather to speak your names one by one. 49 of you were gunned down on that night at the Gay Club. We speak the names of Black and brown trans people murdered, the number surging year after year after year after year. We print out your names on strips of transparent film and place them delicately on the front yard tree. Your names are still there and they now dance with the breeze and the shimmer under the moonlight. Thank you. So this is, these next two are about love, so we're gonna move it a little up on the emotional scale. This one's in Spanish, it's called Esperanza. Hay esperanza en las miradas moteadas que me das en tus promesas. En el brillo de tus labios rojos, en tu barba. Hay esperanza en los rayos del sol que besan tu piel morena, en las canciones que cantamos, en las miradas ocultas que nos dan. Hay esperanza a tu lado. Now to a lovey, sexier one. So our next, it's called Honey. Honey drips down your back. I catch it with my tongue and I lick it from east to west. There's sweetness in every moan and every pore, and I paint with each drop, creating wet swirls from from north to south. Honey sticks to my lips like rich nectar, fresh for the Now, this is for all my religious traumatized queers in the room. Not so shout out to the Spanish for this one. This is called Was God in the Room. Jesus found himself limp-wristed and nailed onto cherry wood for display. His skirt rested low on his hips as the blood dripped down from his crown to his toes. The gentle musk rose between his abdomen and thighs. His dreamy gaze transfixed on a vision of Judas's wet lips. A submissive aura, trauma porn on display. Was God in the room when I first laid lustful eyes on the crucifix on the wall? Now, I'm gonna do a breakup poem, but I love that. Let's do another sexy one. This is called Outfest. So I guess shout out to Outfest in LA. I think their tickets are on sale now. They're like a pre-organized film festival. Their schedule's pretty awesome. They have many like queer independent films and shorts showing. And they emphasize a lot of queer and trans folks together. So shout out to them and for this memory. Outfest. When a cute man invites you to smoke with him, you say yes. Or hell yes. Internally, right? You walk with him through the crowd and sneak off to a dark corner by the still lake and by the still lesbians. Also, take him as kind of moment. Your fingers graze as the smoke clears and he pulls you in the tongue's embrace. His hand guides your fingertips to the zipper opening where a wave of energy radiates to the touch. You guide him to your car where you regret keeping your boots on as his hand guides your face into the groove. And then you kiss him goodbye. One more for y'all. This one, I guess queers and healing goes hand in hand, so I don't know. Before I do that, again, thank you, Jessica and LA Poet Society. If y'all want a copy of my book, it's at the LA Poet Society people. It is $20, but you know, if you want a discount, just let me know, it's fine. We're in community. Trying to make my money back though. It doesn't pay much, but anyway, let's keep it going with healing. So healing is crying alone in your car at your work and wiping the tears with the cheap takeout napkins you stash in the glove compartment. Healing is the gradual and persistent whitening of your eyes after the burning from the anti-redness drop subsides. Healing is having those arduous conversations that end relationships and lift burdens from your shoulders and your neck. Healing is valuing yourself more than the desire for companionship, knowing the love they offer is not what your heart requires. Healing is opening your eyes every morning as the sun caresses your cheeks and your hair. Thanks, y'all.
not already. Next up, let's keep this show going. Pampalencia. Pampalencia, they, them is a butch, queer, non-binary, Chicanic, born and raised in San Fernando Valley. Pam is a graduate of Cal State University of Northridge. Yes, where they received a BA in Gender and Women's Studies with a concentration in social work and welfare and a minor in sociology. Man, thank you for taking a break in your studies too. Join us on this stage.
I, can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. It's actually cool. This is when I was at CSUN. They did this thing called War Magazine. And it's where students are able to submit anything they want, any kind of art they want. For me, it was poetry, but I saw a lot of cool stuff in here. So I don't mind sharing. So, hi everyone, happy Pride Month. My name is Pam. I just wanted to say that I'm very honored to be here with y'all today. It's my first time being the Queer Writers Festival. So thank you so much, Jessica, for the invite. I have 3 poems for y'all. The first one is called Triple Thread. I've shared 2 of these at Tia Chucha for open mic, but I'm really happy to share them again because the themes I think definitely fit Pride. So let me start off by sharing again my pronouns. I use they, them pronouns. I identify as trans non-binary. I think it's important to mention my pronouns because in my poem, Triple Thread, that was written in 2017, 2018, I did identify as a woman, so I did use she, her pronouns at that time. So throughout the poem, you hear she, her pronouns, that's who I was referring to in my past self. So I think it's also important to mention the meaning of the name, behind the meaning of the title of my poem. A friend of mine named Nancy Valverde, who just turned 91 years old in March, used this term triple threat. It was her way of identifying in the world. And for me, when I heard it, she had said that it was her way of telling the world, like, although you reject me, like I take pride in who I am. She would say she was a woman of color. She was a masculine presenting woman. She was queer. She was just everything that society rejected, but she took pride in it. And so for me, it was an act of resistance. So the poem really goes into this being part of your identity and also navigating how this heteronormative society, excuse me, and to recognize the need for intersectionality. So I dedicated it to my masculine women of color, and it's a triple threat. She's a triple threat. She's a triple threat I imagine are the thoughts of those eyes searching me. Focused on my race, gender, and sexuality, I must be at the top of your priorities. Let me share how I feel the world treats my identity like it's an enemy. A life touched by stereotypes and stigmas, as you can imagine, are not so heavenly. I am a handsome woman with light brown skin and a low fade into thick brown hair dressed in iron dark polos, slacks, and dress shoes for footwear. How my masculine appearance and gender will slow you down to find the time to stare. To ask yourself, is that a woman or a man? How does one compare? When I am in love, believe me, I am in love. But some may not accept these relationships since it's written as inappropriate in the societal script, but when have I ever followed such a heteronormative manuscript? So I let her run along my sharp jawline with her soft fingertips as I caress his beauty around her hips. He stands with the wish that my existence didn't exist. As he recognizes that I'm a threat to his masculinity, then he questions, how can a woman want a woman that appears like a man deliberately? Why does this masculine woman lack the importance of femininity? Now he thinks he's one woman short to want him religiously. As if my gender and sexuality were enough for an introduction, they pull my brown roots from the ground up into discussion. Look how our melanin suffers from biased assumptions, the one society creates, as well as race repercussions. How can we progress to fully understand each other if they get defensive and target every person of color? See, I don't walk alone, I've learned to walk in unity.
how my actions and words are the face of my community. Yet my good deeds don't save me or provide immunity when I'm still the hungry Mexican trying to steal American opportunity. Yes, I'm hungry, but I'm hungry for strength. The strength our queer ancestors had as they fought to great lengths. The strength our masculine women have to overcome daily obstacles. The strength our people of color had when they felt it was impossible. Immerse in their strength. So we, the triple threat, can remain unstoppable. That was my first.
Yeah.
The second one is called Paciente Papi por Amor. I wrote this poem around 2016, 2017. In my poem, I shared a glimpse into the tender lover that I am, and while also sharing a glimpse into the kind of beautiful and attentive lover that I wanted to come find me. In a sense, when I wrote this poem, I was manifesting love for myself. And this poem touches on love languages, attraction, cravings, intimacy, and heartfelt energy. Me, a confident, flirtatious, poetic copy stimulates your body and mind with deep, lustful conversations and fierce love faces. Caresses your heart with warm, brown, almond-shaped eyes and heartfelt deeds. Adventurous dates filled with Mother Nature, tender laughter during the day, and constellations, passionate moans by night. Courageous and trusting with love. You, a sexy tease with the craving to explore sensitivity and honesty. Enjoys endless love bites, dirty talk, breathtaking kisses, afternoon lovemaking, and sharing inner voices under the moon. Loves caressing while watching movies, being called pet names, favorites, or baby, imami. Must have a grand appetite for delicious foods and rich sweets, surrounded with self-love and beautiful energy. Thank you. That was my second. The last one, I call it genuine. I wrote this poem, so this one is about heartbreak, but it was a while ago. I wrote it December 2017, and this poem focuses on a completed relationship, not a failed relationship. The ending of relationships are necessary to reflect, take accountability where it's needed, for growth, to receive all the gifts and skills that you collected within that relationship, whether it's to put it back into yourself, into your friends, or future partnerships. I know it's Pride Month and we celebrate queer love along with all the other things, but and it's beautiful to see, but I wanted to also share that when it comes to love, you know, you run the risk of heartache as well. But for me, I'll take that risk just to explore love. And so, and this poem's for those that are trying to heal themselves from a heartache this month. I encourage you to feel all your feelings, to reflect, to be accountable, to forgive. That's something I'm still learning myself. To let yourself go through your grief cycle. This poem focuses on my grief cycle at that time. At that time, I was very much in denial, confused, angry, very sad, trying to bargain with the situation to have my relationship again. But what's so beautiful about poetry and so incredible is that it's a way to archive ourselves, myself, yourself. Poetry, for me, it was capturing that part of me, that lived experience, and just preserving my heartache at that time. And looking back at it now, I'm able to see that I'm able to remind myself and see that yes, it's part of my existing timeline, but that it's also a reminder that I completed my grief cycle, that I found peace and closure from that past love. So I wish anyone feeling that's going through that, even if it's not a romantic relationship, that is speaking to you or something related with your parents as well. So I call it genuine. It was dedicated to the person I was with, their name was Pete. Why can I let go of you and me? I know everything happens in life for a reason, because it's be part of our destiny. You You shared your stress, pain, and fears, yet I still feel like we're meant to be. It's hard to let go of us when each day all I think about is our memory. These feelings for you are deeply penetrated inside my heart. Saying I love you was the gates opening to a life we're ready to start. Never did I imagine we would be in this place where every day, every conversation developed more space. Your decision to leave or stay is one I find myself having a hard time to face. See, losing you is not in my plans. It's actually one of my biggest fears. I don't know if you go to bed at night busting your head over it with a face full of tears. I guess that's why I always want a conversation so I can understand, so things could be more clear. But I do know this isn't easy for you. If it were easy from the beginning, you would have said, hey, I'm sorry, but we're through. Oh, I love you so much, I really do. You take my feelings into consideration. Something so special like that has been taken for granted throughout many generations. You're not afraid to show you care. I know you feel the way you are with me isn't fair. You think I shouldn't have to put up with your stress, but for me, I'll have you when life gives you the best and even when it gives you a mess. Never do I forget the words of Vance Joy and the song you dedicated called This Mess Is Mine, how I listen to it repeatedly from time to time, how I can hear your voice inside each lyric, how the love you've given has lifted my spirit. Sometimes I feel selfish. Selfish for holding on to someone whose mindset isn't focused on love, but on someone's wellness. Understand these that I'm me and I love with my all. I don't just love anyone, so finding you, I accepted love to naturally let me fall, but I catch myself that I do this. That I begin to reminisce on things that once were before our first hit, and forget that we're not there, but now in this current event, I need to accept that losing you may be something I can't prevent. Am I hopeful? I'm as hopeful as I can be. I'm hopeful we can have this love. If not now, then perhaps in the future there is a you with me. I'm scared to think this way because you and me is all I've ever thought about every day. I know the way life has you right now may have many misunderstood, but I know you and I know your intentions are good. I'm sorry for making you constantly explain. I'm sorry if I ever caused you pain. I know the position you're in may have you physically, emotionally, and mentally drained. Forgive me. Forgive me for not making it so easy. I just feel everything with you so deep. I missed you and everything with you that once came, and I've realized things between us are not exactly the same, but we know you or me are not the ones to blame. It's unfortunate how life will find ways to challenge a love like ours, but really, saving or losing this love is only in our power. I know this love can come back strong. Together we can work at it. Doesn't matter to me if it takes too long, because you are worth it. Because relationships can be worked on to get us close to being perfect. I know you have the weight of the world on your shoulders, has you considering things would need to be over. But I know when I love, I'm an amazing partner, and you deserve me that's going to love you even harder. Me that won't go an extra mile for you, but will take it even farther. What am I doing? I don't know exactly how I'm pursuing. Sometimes I feel I should let go, but there's no convincing case. All the time I feel I should hold on because our love should be lived, not become another love story sitting on a bookcase. You and me, we have a good thing. I'm always going to love you for who you are, and this is me promising. Thank you.
Yeah, let's hear it. Fine. All right. Great.
Yeah. Is a disabled queer Renaissance woman of the 21st century, a writer, model, breaker, a first-gen born and raised in the San Fernando Valley. You can find their work and follow Everyday Life on their Instagram at Stephanie. Welcome to the stage.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
Awesome. I just want to say thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much to the readers before me. You guys were amazing. So the first poem that I will be reading today is The Secret of Shadows. This is the poem that started it all. And it was basically my first time basically writing and allowing myself to write. So here it goes. The secret of shadows. The nighttime is when I whisper my secrets, cry in the dark, when most of my important calls occur. It's a time when the person on the other end of the line tells me bedtime stories. It's a time I laugh the loudest and dance without caring how others perceive me. The night is when I unravel. I can breathe easy. In the shadows of the night, I perfect my painting. The nighttime is made for memorable outings. Going through the drive-through on foot with friends in my power wheelchair. Laughing drunk at the only pizza parlor that's open. Pulling up on that guy you hardly know for a New Year's Day. It's a time for a desmadre, madness on the street when all the gay clubs closed in West Hollywood. In the shadows is where I play catch up. In the shadows of the night, I blast Gigi from my car with all the windows rolled down. It's a night strolls to El Taurino for late night tacos, followed by deep conversation. And opening a bottle of wine from a friend's mom's wine clutch. The night is made for forgetting your only lighter in your car and getting pulled through the beach sand in your coat. Laughing so hard your inner child is beaming with excitement. It's my first day with a social worker that does yayo on the weekend. They take me to a fancy spot while forgetting to check tonight's events. I end up crashing a bar mitzvah. In the shadows of the night, anything is possible. In the shadows of the night is where I escape. So as a disabled queer person, I often spend time inside hospitals and things like that. And for a very long time, it's stuff that I, was kept behind doors. But I think that being disabled, people kind of need to be let in a little bit so they know we live, it's not so secret that way. This one's called Crooked, and it's a poem I wrote for Disability Pride Month. Crooked, slanted and flaying knees, my wheelchair swooshing past blurred faces. I go full throttle, avoiding the stares as we dodge their projections of me. Curious faces, furrowed brows, pursed lips, noses turned upwards. It's the questioning from their lips. What do you do for work? You see the wheels turning, condescending. I'm immediately judged. I'm worthless in their eyes. Most can't even assemble the words properly. Yes, it's called the wheelchair, I say. I've crawled up numerous stairs over dog shit and spider webs to find my own shelter. I've watched my dreams disintegrate between my swan neck fingers. As I laid in hospital bed, saline drip, and deep into a morphine meditation, I remember I am in a body that's often frustrating. I acknowledge my skin deserves patience and love. I spend so much of my time rejecting myself just like they did. Hardened, swollen knees, a soft heart, bruised, eroding, and inflamed hands. I feel the need to protect from hands of gorillas that can't hold a gentle flower without smashing it between their fingers. Is it so bad hovering in my wheelchair? This next one is titled Hospital Hall. Hospital Hall. That Santísima rides with me. She has been at my hospital bedside more times than I can count. I don't fear her kiss. I see God's reflection in the eyes and grins of strangers' faces. It's the lady at the grocery store or the male nurse that wiped my ass. It's the people I swoosh past every day. I'm not afraid of death. It's the never-ending pain I fear. For it to consume me, that I'll forget me. I lie in bed as my mind spirals. I'm high. I'm so numbingly high. My doctor reminds me I've grown immune to any medication. I've lost muscle strength again. My siblings burst into laughter. I'm back in my body. I'm alive again. This last one, I hope you didn't miss one more. This one's a love letter to myself. Just so that I don't forget myself in hospital beds and hospital halls. Yo soy yo y no me parezco a nadie. Yo soy Shirley Temple. Yo soy feliz como una lombriz. Yo soy canas blancas y negras. Yo soy hija de tu madre. Yo soy, te pareces a tu abuela la India hasta en los dedos. Soy la religiosa tía Stephanie, ponte a rezar. Soy temperamental, soy llorona, soy chingona. Yo soy daba daba du, te sales tú. Yo soy apasionada con Ruby Woo smeared on my face. Yo soy tu reflejo. Yo soy lo que se ve, no se pregunta. Yo soy la dama que para el tráfico. Yo soy la persona que mis ancestros esperaban. Yo soy hecha carne y hueso. Yo soy los secretos que dos amantes se cuentan bajo las sábanas. Yo soy Rudy, a veces Stephanie. Yo soy mi gran amor. Yo soy. Yo soy. So this last one, I read in poema, and I love living in the poema. Laurel Canyon Boulevard is a street that's really well known, even in rock history, and I really I really love it. So here goes this last one. Laurel Canyon Boulevard. Las montañas de mi valle me cubren, como la sábana pesada de león de mis padres. Valley Girl, me llaman las gabachas de Los Ángeles. But Gucci faces up in the air. I keep my cool, but under, I'm the volcan my mother always talks about from back home in Colima, Mexico. Always ready to erupt. We don't have no drinkers in my family, so I can't blame the anger issues on the spirits. Sadness, maybe.